I thought I would make a video on how to remove the rear quarter windows from an '07 Jaguar XK. The rear seat pads just pull up from the front. Then you can pry up and remove the center armrest. The back cushion has one number 20 torque screw on each side, so take the screw out. Then you can release tension on the seat belt and pull out the back cushion. There are two screws that will require you to partially lift the top. They're shown at two different places in this video, but you should try to get them at the same time. One is for the quarter trim panel and one is for the rear quarter closing panel. I found this position of about a quarter way up to be best, but you can experiment. The owner's manual says that if you lose power while the top is being raised or lowered, the top will lose its memory and you'll have to lower it manually to get it to work again. That happened to me a couple of times when I was just using accessory power. I eventually just started the car and ran the engine while I had the top partially up. It was usually less than 10 minutes to get a screw in or out, and that kept the top from losing power. So partially raise the top and that gives you access to this cord, which needs to be unhooked to remove the trim panel. That cord is hooked to the small movable panel that goes in when the top goes up. Hold the small panel while you unhook the cord so that the panel doesn't snap back and break something, because there's a spring on the other side of it. I couldn't get a socket in here, so I had to revert to loosening the screw with a smaller tool. Then I could get my hand in there to get it out. By the way, all the torque sizes for this job are either 50, 40, or 30. Pull the panel forward, pop out this trim piece, then you can remove the seatbelt through the slot. Then the buckle will go through the panel hole and you can take out the panel. When you put this back, make sure you pull the buckle back out, or you'll have to remove the panel again to get at it. Next, take out the speaker panel. There are several cable bundles that are secured to the speaker panel, so you'll need to remove them from the panel. This wire that goes through the panel is connected to the window motor, so disconnect it from the bundle. There are two other connectors that will need to be disconnected. You'll then need to pry the cable bundles from the panel. You need to be careful so as not to damage any wires with whatever tool you're using to pry them away. Once all the cables were disconnected, I pushed the motor cable through the hole in order to disconnect it later from the motor. Remove 6 screws to get out the speaker panel. Here's one of the parts I missed at first. It's called the quarter closing panel. It's kind of down in there, and it has one of the screws that require the top to be partially up. But you can't get the window regulator and motor out without removing this. It has 3 Torx bolts to be removed. Carefully remove the window and regulator from the car. There are 2 screws that connect the glass to the regulator. Then there's a stud on the regulator that I couldn't get to turn. I had to literally wind the glass off that stud. If someone else knows a better way, let us know. On eBay, there's a company called Used to Be Mine that will refurbish them. I shipped mine on a Monday and had it back the next Monday for less than $200. I carefully and slowly reversed the procedure to get it back in. Good luck.